Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Today I wanted to talk about the potential for Star Citizen Alpha 4.0 being a bit lighter on server meshing. Server meshing light, the sort of separation of pyro and jump points from server meshing for 4.0 and what that could mean. And also I want to talk a bit more about the Scorpius Antares, which we saw on Star Citizen leaks recently, being talked about. Potentially Cloud Imperium have changed it again, or is it a jammer ship? Is it a so it's got an EMP, it's got a QED, but is that quantum device, is that for snaring, dampening, or both? And I sort of want to talk a bit about that. So let's start with all systems go ahead for Alpha 4.0, but it sounded like in a very recent Inside Star Citizen that Cloud Imperium might be saying that they want to release Alpha 4.0 potentially without server meshing, at least in the way we had originally envisioned. So it is a bit vague at the moment, so let me make that clear. A lot of different content creators have said very different things, and I had realised that they had interpreted what Cloud Imperium said in the same way that I did, so I sort of want to talk a bit about what that could mean and have my rambly thoughts thrown at you. Also, Zin, she's got a cold at the moment. I'm recovering from going out for a stag weekend sort of reunion thing. And so this is the best you're going to get. So yeah, let's talk about this then. So Cloud Imperium basically said they want to separate jump points and pyro from the replication layer. So from a big part of the plans for server meshing they had, and then potentially release that as 4.0. Their priority seems to be getting pyro out the door, getting jump points in game, pyro out the door, but not necessarily the static server meshing that we had originally envisioned as part of 4.0. And server meshing would be part of the 4.x sort of a subset of patches still. And what we might actually see in 4.0 is maybe server meshing light. What do I really mean by that? Well, I don't really know. That's the thing. So they'd still need to be able to send authority from Stanton to Pyro. So we'd have to move between star systems. Is that going to be as seamless and integrated as they wanted with full-on server meshing? No. So, but it might be big steps towards server meshing still. So yeah, you can expect static server meshing still to come, probably like a couple of quarters after 4.0, but it's going to be dependent on how complicated it is for them to do. But it's good that Cloud Imperium are admitting that, look, there's more work that needs to go on to some of this. We are going to get stuff out. We're going to get pyro out. We are going to be pushing for 4.0. We are going to be working towards server meshing, which is probably one of the last major core milestones they need to hit before then sort of like building out physical damage, physical components, and getting the house in order. Because we're getting to a stage now with Star Citizen where, yeah, the project's been going on for 10 plus years, and they are developing it, they are making it better, they are producing quite an interesting product, which is playable in alpha, but does want to be in players' hands in some form. They need to finish off with that core tech, they need to get Squadron 42 out the door, and things like that. So the rest of the core tech sort of coming online, super important for that. I'm sort of interested to know what people think about that. Like, would they be happy with a lighter form of server meshing, or just being able to just go to pyro and play the game there? Because if the jump points are effectively just loading screens, I think that's still okay in the shorter term, right? Because I want to play in different star systems. And as long as it's not going to take them a huge amount of extra time because they're putting in a temporary solution, I'm sort of okay. And it's possible that from work they're doing on sort of steps towards server meshing with this, that they might actually come up with some different ways of doing things. It's still going to aid the development, is what I'm saying. Now, there's something else that's got to be said here. The episode of Inside Star Citizen, where a lot of this information was on server meshing and plans for 4.0 and sort of plans for Pyro, it was just the first part of a series of server meshing videos. partly about their big conference that they did recently. So it could go anywhere, I suppose. There could be a lot more information that we don't have yet. But yeah, please tell me what you think in the comments below about server meshing. Do you think it's necessary for 4.0? Actually, do you just care about being able to play more of the game? Or are you very much sort of like, as long as Cloud Imperium keep on releasing something and keeping us up to date with development, that's the main, that's what I'm into with Star Citizen. But yeah, tell me what you think below. Are you upset? Are you happy? Are you indifferent? Scorpius Antares. So, now, I saw a little post on Star Citizen Leaks about this, and the post said, so it appears the efficacy of the QED on the Scorpius is in flux. The description changed in the latest patch from the original stating it both snares and dampens to now just dampening. The original description, the Tidelock quantum enforcement device, was internally designed by Roberts Space Industries specifically for the Scorpius Antares. The carefully created design contains both a quantum snare for pulling crafts out of quantum travel and a quantum dampener for preventing quantum drive activation. So the new text reads, internally designed by Roberts Space Industries for the Scorpius Antares, the carefully crafted Tidelock quantum dampener generates a field that prevents quantum drive activation. So you can see there is a marked difference there. Now it appears to be a jammer, a dampener, rather than a snarer. So the Mantis does both dampening and snaring. So it is markedly different. Also, it looked like from another recent sort of teaser that it was a two-seater still, the Antares variant. So the second seat, assumedly, is where you do your QED and EMP stuff from. The module is also now called a quantum dampener rather than a quantum enforcement device. So it might be that Cloud Imperium had always planned to do it like that. It might be that they're reacting to some of the feedback that players were giving, or it's possible that the leaks were just incorrect in this instance. Yeah, but we don't know. So just always take leaks with a pinch of salt. They are interesting to discuss for sure, but you shouldn't get upset if something that you expected from a leak doesn't materialize. I quite like the idea of the Scorpius Antares. I do want the Mantis to also have a role, very much so. It's obviously quite important. It was looking like, well, yeah, actually the Scorpius Antares, it's two-seater rather than one seat, and it's going to be able to do slightly different stuff. And yeah, if they separate it out a bit and they go, well, actually it can't do all of the quantum stuff and EMP, and it's just better. Great. Yeah, I want it to be different from the Mantis. We are getting the ship with 3.18. It's going to be flyable, so it will go on sale at around when 3.18 is released to live, potentially quite shortly, because it looks like we're having 3.18 delivered to us by the end of February. Although that is speculation rather than confirmation. I'm interested to know what you think on the Scorpius Antares, and when you think we are going to see Star Citizen Alpha 3.18 live. Boom! That's it for your Star Citizen rantings and rumblings from me, BoredGamer. Hopefully, Zin will be back and better soon, and we'll do some podcasty stuff. I might just start doing videos like this occasionally. Like, we might try and get a couple of videos out a day, and we could do something gameplay-y, we could do something newsy, we could do something a bit ranty, and we could do some deep dives, and it's nice to have a lot of different sort of video choices to do, so that I can, you know, take my pick, do what I fancy during the day, because I quite enjoy making content on Star Citizen, and yeah, and I very much enjoy you liking the video and subscribing and all that jazz. I've got an outro that does this for me. Thanks very much for watching, guys. You take care.
That's the last chevron locked in, Mr. Daniel Jackson, who is legally distinct from any doctors of the same name. We've done it. We've connected to another world. Daniel Jackson, we're being hacked through the gates to the stars, which is also legally distinct from any other gates that travel to the stars. We should have got NordVPN, Daniel Jackson. We would have been able to browse the internet safely, accessed our favourite content on Netflix, and we would have been able to have privacy. We would have had less of these Egyptian-looking snake people attacking us too.
You should check out nordvpn.com/BoredGamer and get yourself a great deal on NordVPN. Just click the link in the comments section below. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For February, it's for a Crusader Spirit C1, the very cool looking multi-crew, multi-role competitor to the Cutlass Black and Freelancer. As it's a concept ship, you'll get a Cutlass Black until it's made flyable. You'll get lifetime insurance with the ship and a game package for Star Citizen 2, so all you need to play. Just comment on any of my videos made during the month to be in for a chance of winning that. If you would like to further support the channel, then consider becoming a Patreon or using that join button under my YouTube videos to become a channel member. It goes a massive way to helping us make videos every day, and you'll get some exclusive content from me and Zinnia from time to time too. Become a BoredGamer today!